Welcome back. So I'm very excited about today's conversation because the WNBA got a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
You don't love the WNBA?
Oh, I like to see women play. I like to see them run up and down the court. I always like to see them because some of them is good as some men. Well, I'm not gonna say good as some men, but they're exciting. The games can be exciting. And I don't know why you're looking at me like that now.
I'm about to cave your chest in.
Yeah, well, you better think about it twice.
Pound for pound. I think pound for pound.
I'm listening.
Some of them girls are just as good. Some of them women are just as good.
I'm not gonna
pound
say,
for pound.
I'm not. Okay, you want to say pound for, but I'm not gonna say as good as the men.
Pound for pound.
I'm still not gonna.
I'm standing with it.
I'm not gonna do it. Now I'm not saying that they don't have excitement. It can be in that, but you know what? If that was really the case, I think then you would have some women in the NBA.
Disagree.
Okay.
Because of pound for pound.
Okay.
I think that if you look at, if you could even out the biological factors that make men on average stronger, faster, more athletic, if you could balance that out.
Okay.
Then
I can go with that. I can go with that.
Same level.
I can go with that.
Same level because their skill's on another level. And I see it a lot when I'm coaching. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to, because you're going to make me say the wrong thing. It's going to be,
no, I don't need to.
It's going to be popping in here like hot grits.
Yeah, because then we're going to have to take it to the ring.
No, we ain't going to make it to the ring because you can be done before we get there.
Okay. Do you see the way a son talked to his father?
They see it?
Yeah.
You got to put you on your plate sometime.
Okay.
All right.
Not with your hands. Not with no hands.
Boy, you going to get it, but... So, can I do this? Can I do this?
Well, do it.
All right, man. So, great story the other day that I came across about Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, two of the greatest players to ever step foot in the WNBA.
Two of the greatest?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say they're both the greatest. Diana, some people would argue, during our WNBA Appreciation Week, they were included. I had to highlight them. They're two of my favorite all-time players, men and women. How about that?
Okay.
But yeah, so if you're not familiar with this, WNBA players aren't paid a whole lot of money. So during the WNBA's offseason, a lot of players go overseas to earn more money. This is necessary for them, of course, because there's only so much time that they can profit off of playing basketball before, you get too old, bodies start breaking down. I'm not saying that specifically for women. Same thing with men. There's only that window. You can't play forever.
Yeah.
So to maximize it when you're not making as much money here in America, they go overseas to earn more and continue to play. So just to give you some numbers, the max salary in the WNBA in 2019 was $117,500.
That's top salary, right?
Yeah, that might sound like a lot, but it's really not when you think about how much men make.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of, I'm sure if, more money was poured into the game from, fans and things like that, they would be paid more.
Like yeah.
But that just goes to show in our society, we don't appreciate it enough. Because I actually personally, when the NBA rolled back around, I was missing the WNBA games. Like sometimes I get bored watching NBA games.
Well, I always kind of like when I used to watch women. I kind of like watching women basketball.
Like it's different. It's more like team basketball to me at times. And it's just something about, like, I knew, like, when I was in high school and stuff, trying to learn the game and trying to come up with moves to make, I used to like pulling moves from WNBA players just because, at the time there were certain players that I kind of like watching where I thought I never had the flashy dribble. So I would try to watch players that kind of was like simple like me, that can still get in the lane, find ways to finish around bigger people. And, I kind of gravitated towards that. But, one thing that kind of jumped out to me was that players can make about 10 times the amount of money that they make in the WNBA playing in places like Russia, China, and Turkey, different places in Europe and Asia. And, there's definitely hardships to playing abroad. One, you're in foreign land.
Right.
You don't really know anybody. You don't really know how things get. It's an adjustment. You're in a completely new country. And there's language barriers. So a lot of times players got to rely on translators to communicate with their teammates and coaches. And you leave your loved ones behind. You're not taking your whole family over there. You're not LeBron. You're not making big dollars to where you can be like, "Hey, mom, let's go to Russia for however many months while I play ball." So you're leaving a lot behind,
and then you leave
to make a living.
Yeah, and then you even leave the ones that you like, your wife. You might have to leave back, your husband. You leave back here because they have regular jobs that they just can't get away. And then, like when you're saying that the money isn't that great, where they can just pick up and leave their job and just be like that, then come back.
Yeah.
So it is a difference.
So Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi would play over in Russia when they weren't playing in the WNBA. And they were playing for, I'm probably going to butcher this name, but I'm going to give it a shot, Shabtai Kalmanovic. I'm going to call him Shab. All right.
Okay.
Shab was a KGB spy turned Russian billionaire businessman. Right? And this guy treated them like royalty, much like how NBA superstars are treated here in America, right? So they kind of finally got what they deserve, right? But this dude was KGB spy, man. But he treated them very well. He provided for them financially. He made playing in Moscow really worth it. This is a guy who did 5 years in prison because he was arrested for espionage, committed other crimes, but then he became GM of the team where Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi were playing. Later on he was killed in 2009 as part of a hit job. So this dude was into some stuff, but he never knew it was what. One thing, there were like several things that stood out for me. Like, this guy could just kind of pick up a phone, get Sue Bird an Israeli passport, because I guess when you're playing overseas, at least in this league, you only can have a max of 2 American players, right?
Right.
So he got Sue Bird an Israeli passport, I guess, so she could say she was Israeli, so that they can get a 3rd American player on the team. So my man had some pull. He had some clout, right? And this guy was able to have commercial flights delayed so his team could make the plane. Like, I need y'all to hold this plane up. I don't care who on it, but I gotta get my ladies on it. I need my women to be on this flight. My players we got somewhere to go. I need y'all to hold the plane. My man had some clout. So, Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, they both had like mini mansions over there. They was able to use this dude's credit card for whatever they want, on top of all the money he was paying them. Compared to in the WNBA, they got to lug their things around. They're on terrible commercial flights.
Yeah.
American Airlines at 4:45 a.m. The league, WNBA, you can't have charter flights for some reason. Younger players got to double up in hotel rooms. And we all know about the pay disparity between NBA and WNBA is drastic. So, another quote that stood out was the fact that, Tarazi said, like, we got to go to a communist country to get paid like capitalists, which I was like, wow. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so backwards. And, they credit a lot of what they have to this guy. But, the dilemma, I guess, the thing people ask about is, like, if you knew this guy had some illegal dealings, right? How does that make you feel being one of his players? And, I guess they both kind of felt like he wasn't found guilty. There was no evidence against him for certain things, especially during his run as their GM. That
Right.
It's like, I can't hold that against him. And also, it's an opportunity for him. It's like, if I get to make money over here, and Sue Bird was like, I can retire at 38 and be set for life. She wouldn't have that otherwise.
Right.
It's like these women are in a position where you got to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's just, that was interesting to me. I can't judge them for
somebody else.
Yeah, it's
Like you said, it ain't like it was ongoing thing. Like he served some time, he did some time.
Yeah.
Okay. Who knows that he didn't straighten his life out?
yeah. It's
You-
like
you
I don't know what you're into, and I mean you can, I guess, turn a blind eye to some things, but if you don't know, it's like I'm not about to ask and probe about this. Like that's none of my business. I'm
my
just here to
job is
hoop,
come
make
in
some
and play
money,
basketball. My job is to
and
play
go back.
basketball. Right. My
Now, if
job.
things started coming out like, oh, he's involved in this and that, then that's a different
Right.
conversation.
That's different. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, you come here to play basketball. I mean, who knows if some of the owners here is not an illegal
Yeah,
activity?
you don't know.
You know?
don't know. And I think that was just. This story is just another reason of why I lobby so hard for the WNBA now. Just because I feel like there definitely needs to be a greater level of appreciation. And, I hope that, as time continues to go on, that it picks up in popularity so that money is, funneled through the league so that these women can earn more.
Well, you know
They
what?
deserve it.
I think it is growing. It's just not growing fast because I remember back when I was there, they was really. I think the top salary at one time was $50,000 for a woman. So like that's why when I seen it and 117,000, like it has grown a little bit. I mean, it's been years and it ain't fast. And when that's the top salary, but like years ago, like I heard it was 50,000.
Yeah, I like when I see NBA players sidelines at these games too, sitting courtside, getting excited. They're into it
Oh yeah, I mean,
because
like,
I think that's going to help the game too. Because if I'm a 7-year-old kid looking up to LeBron and LeBron thinks women's basketball is cool, I'm going to think women's basketball is cool too. So it's kind of like a stigma associated with the game, unfortunately.
yeah. Some of the players, like I'm saying, some of the players go to them games. There probably more players go to the WNBA games now than it was back when
Yeah.
I was coming up.
Yeah, I wish we had a WNBA team here in Philly. I'd probably get season tickets.
I probably would make a few games myself.
I would probably have season tickets. I'll be down there.
Because, like when I was in college and high school, I went to all the women basketball games. I used to love watching the women play. Like I said, I like watching women's basketball.
But one thing that stood out was that Diana Taurasi explained that Chavs made, basketball, he made everything kind of bigger than life for them over there. And it really, I guess for them, going back to, do you kind of ignore certain things? It's like, yeah, when you actually finally feel appreciated, right? Imagine going through life doing a job where you're underpaid. Now finally someone's giving you the things you deserve that you work so hard for. What would you expect? Right? And what's crazy is I remember a couple years ago, Diana Taurasi wasn't playing in the WNBA, and I'm like, why? Because she's getting paid more by her overseas team to sit out and rest than she would make if she were to play in the WNBA. So it's like, all right, I can make my 118 here, or they'll pay me 2, 3, 4, 10 times that, and all I got to do is not play and actually let my body recover a little bit so that I can play even longer down the line.
Yeah.
I think that's. We just got to change some things.
You know something else that you had. You know what that you said, like, and something I want to say. Like, remember, I seen the salary of a G League player.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 125,000. You know, some people that doesn't go overseas that might play in the G League may go overseas and make more than that 125,000.
Really?
Oh yeah, there used to be some NBA players that didn't play in the league that got more playing overseas than over here. Like, I think, didn't Allen Iverson go overseas?
Yeah, he went to Turkey
At the end.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know his situation was that he didn't want to come off the bench, but he also, like, some of their salaries is more for some players over there than they would make over here if they don't make an NBA team and play in the G League. And that's why some players, I think, I can't think of name right now, but I remember, it just ain't coming to me right now. But he went overseas because he made more money overseas than he made with his NBA contract. So, I mean, it can be.
Yo, what's your last thing for you? What's your take on load management?
On lower management.
Load management, so players resting, keep their bodies healthy. Because that wasn't a thing back in the day.
No, it
Players
wasn't.
pretty much play 82. But now today you see guys get rest certain nights. What you think about that?
You know what? I don't agree with that.
Why?
I mean, I really don't. Cause, like, I mean, like, you want to save your players for, you want to talk about the playoff. You paying people to come play every night. You ain't paying them to take off a night or have a night off.
Are you though?
Huh?
Are you sure?
Well, see, like, I'm from the part of loving the game.
Yeah, apparently Michael Jordan said, he plays his guys to play 82 games.
Right.
You know why?
Why?
Because that's all they playing is 82 games. Because they not winning. They probably not making the playoffs. His teams be trash. So Mike.
I mean, but you still gotta, I mean, as a player, I mean, you know what? When I played, I didn't want to take a night off. I didn't want to sit out a game. I want to play.
Yeah, and I'm sure these guys do too, but it's a long season. So with what we know, and there's research behind it to back it up. This is why I like doing this. There's research behind it to back it up that, there is value in resting and playing less back-to-back games to preserve your body. And especially when you're talking about longevity of your career. And how many times have you seen guys get into the postseason and then their body starts breaking down, right? So as any NBA franchise, your goal is probably to win a championship, right? Like, if you owned a team, would you want your players to play 82 games and not win a championship, or would you rather have your key guys play 65 to 70 games and potentially win an NBA title? Like, what's your goal? Probably depends on what your goal is. That's probably a big thing. But I know if it was me, I want to win a title. So I have valuable guys. Like, you're paying these guys all this money, right? You're paying them a ton of money, right, Dad? Yes or no?
I'm listening.
Are they making a ton of money? Yes or no?
They're definitely making a ton of money.
So you're investing in something, right? Do you want your asset to crash and burn, or do you want it to flourish? You're putting all this money into something.
You know what? Like, when you saying that, so you saying years ago players wasn't getting paid.
They were getting paid,
but they still were playing the whole season, and they wasn't taking the games off and all like that then.
Ignorance.
So now,
It's ignorance. It's lack of knowledge. It's not knowing the benefits of rest.
You know what? That's why the game is not the same. That's why, you know what? I would look at the thing. The game is not played as hard now because of stuff like that.
Why you getting so upset?
Because
that's not true. People still go out there and play hard.
No, the game thing. You know what?
People get smarter.
People break up a finger today and they out for 3 weeks.
So?
People other years played because they love the game. Allen Iverson, your man, Allen Iverson.
Yes.
You know what? Did he take a game? Did he take games off for stuff like that?
No, he got his rest at practice.
Well, regardless, but he played. He came to play night in, night out. Michael Jordan ain't take games off because he was hurt. He came back when they wanted.
They didn't know this research back then.
Okay, but you know what? Some people play for the love of the game.
And guys still play for the love. People are still playing for the love of the game.
They were playing for championships back then.
And they still do. But now we're smarter.
Well, you know what? Okay,
it's like the NFL, right? It's like, okay, we know that concussions are a thing, right? And that isn't good for any of our players' health. So, with this knowledge, right? Have you seen the movie Concussion with Will Smith?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
This one worth seeing, but you can have from crashing your heads together, right? You can have serious brain damage, which has serious repercussions later on in life. You might not see them while you're playing, but in those years of retirement, hold on. Okay. You're gonna see some things. Some things could start to go a little crazy. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna finish this.
Go ahead.
So, with that information, should the NFL still allow people to go head-to-head on tackles? No, they changed the rules.
I can understand that.
They changed the rules to make the game safer for players.
Okay.
That's what people are using science for in the NBA. Is they're making the game better for players.
So, you know what? Now you should go to boxing and let people wear headgear and championship fights.
I've never been a fan. Like, I would never box. I don't.
No, I'm just saying. You mind would just save some people because people get paid big money.
You should. Fights.
Yeah, they should wear headgear and all that.
They sign up for that.
Yeah. Huh?
Like you sign up for that in boxing.
You sign up to play 82. You sign up to play 82 games of basketball. You sign up
not
to play.
Necessarily.
So now you sign up. So now you got to say, okay, in a season you could play. You don't need to play the last 20 games. Don't play last 20 games. We're going to sit you out. If we're in position to make the playoff, you might sit out.
Think about who's doing this, though. It's the teams. It's not the players. Like, in one breath, you're arguing, the players love the game. But no, the teams are saying, like, hey, we want you to rest tonight because we're trying to preserve you. Okay. And it's mutual. Okay. So it's not just, the players, this and this. This is about a game. So you know what? Players, no.
Like, you asked me a question. I'm not for it. Simple as that. I'm not for it. And you know what?
So some of the
fans, you know what? It's just like some of the fans, like I know Golden State rested some of their players at times. Fans come out to see them people play. They don't come out to watch the people over there. They paying money. They paying their money. Some people might have to save like money just to make this game. And now I can't even see this player play.
Yeah, I know.
Because he chooses to sit out now. No, I'm not going to agree with it. No kind of way.
Yeah, Morgan. Have you met? You haven't met Morgan yet, but Morgan is Devin's best friend from Michigan that they do Don't Be Pressed podcast with. Right. Check it out if you haven't already. Morgan and her mom went to go see. They're from Detroit. They went to go see the Pistons play the Lakers. LeBron rested that night. They spent a lot of money on them tickets. They were hurt. I get that, 100%. Because if I drop this money in March to go see Russ. And I'm trying to sit behind the bench, couple rows back, and Russ don't play, I'm gonna be a little hurt.
You know,
I'm gonna be hurt.
You know what?
So like it does, I do recognize that.
Remember, we went to OKC game in Philly the one year. Before I went. That year we went, and Russ didn't play, or Russ didn't play.
No, they played. They played.
No, somebody didn't play.
They played.
Somebody was hurt that game. It was even Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Durant? No, they all played. They all played when we were there.
No, they both didn't play.
Yes, they did.
Okay, we're going to go back and look that up.
We're going to go back and look. They both played. This is when the Sixers had Michael Carter-Williams.
I know that game we went to that night. No, don't do it now.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
They played.
That was 2015.
You sure? Went to go see?
Yeah.
We going to see.
Sixers played, because I think the next game the Eagles played Seattle the next day. That's probably the last time that Seattle was here. And they played Seattle tomorrow. So you would say today.
Let me see. You sure that was 2015?
Yeah, I believe that was 2015.
Yeah, because I was living in the high rise. I'm trying to figure out. It wasn't March 2015.
Me, cousin Terry, we all went to the game together.
So it probably was in the fall, right?
It had to be like in the beginning of the season, before December.
Right. I'm gonna find this because I would have been hurt if they weren't.
No, one of them. I didn't think one of them didn't play. One of them. I'm not sure if both of them played.
All right, here we go.
But one was injured.
December 5th. Durant played. Ibaka played. Russ played. Steven Adams played.
All of them played?
Yep.
Okay.
Told you.
Okay.
I wasn't hurt that night. I was hyped.
Okay.
I remember Michael Carter Williams was at the line, and I was like, he gonna miss these because he can't shoot. Sure enough, he missed them. But I think, so you telling me if you were an owner of a team, you would make your stars play all 82, even though team doctors are saying, like, hey, Mr. Beeford, we think Kawhi should only play 65 games this year. We need him to sit out about 17. We might even push him to 67 games to where he only sits out 15, Mr. Beeford. Would you still say, no, make him play 82?
You know, I'm saying, I think that they should play. Now, I'm saying at the game, the end of the season, it might be a game here or a game there. Yeah, it might be the last game or so. Yeah, I would let them sit out and
that's not the question.
No, but I'm not saying. The question is
we need to spread out.
I'm not.
These 15 games.
I'm not for that. I'm not for that. I'm not for it.
That's
and
foolish in my opinion. Huh? That's foolish.
Okay.
I'm telling you, he's gonna get hurt if he plays.
You know what? He can get hurt any given day.
I know,
he can
but
get hurt any game.
It's a probability.
You know what?
The chances are higher.
You know what? Anytime you go out and play, it's a chance for you to get hurt.
I mean,
every game. So you know what? You know what? Suppose you sit him out them games and he still get hurt. Then what's the difference? What's the difference? He still got hurt.
You took the precaution though.
Okay.
But if I'm telling you that by playing all these games, your body gets weaker, you're fatigued, players aren't rested well, that's your injury. Your chances for injury are so much higher.
You know what? Every time you walk on that court, there's a chance that you can be hurt.
Yes, I
don't care what kind of shape you in, how many games you set out, you still can be hurt.
The probability is different.
Okay. So,
based on the condition that your body is in.
Well, then you know what? That's why I think some players stay in shape, and they keep
are
on playing.
But your body, you need rest. That's the thing.
Okay. I don't see it. Call me what you want to call me. I'm not for it.
I think we can get you on board. I think we just got to put some studies and numbers in front of you. I think you'll buy in. You're a very intelligent person. I think you got to break away.
You know what? See,
what about how, Dad? You always preaching this how stuff.
But what I'm saying is,
say your how. Say your how.
No, I'm not saying that.
Say why? Why? Because you're not applying it.
But what I'm saying is too. You know what? People pay money to see these people play.
True.
And so you paying them money, so resting them and keeping them from there, somebody missing out seeing these people play.
That's what you have to do.
You know what?
You have to do that.
Okay. But you ain't always had to do that. It's something now. It's just like everything.
Because we have new knowledge.
That's why it's a watered down. That's why things are watered down.
No,
now.
It's not.
That's why the league is watered down now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's allowing players to play longer.
Okay. Some players still don't play that long. Some players still. And
Derrick Rose had probably the most compelling quote about load management. He said if load management had been a thing in the early years of his career, he might still be a Chicago Bull.
He got hurt. One of his injuries came playing against the Sixers in the playoffs. Right?
Yes, but his point, the point being,
if he set out some games, that wouldn't have happened.
That if his body was in better condition, because the other thing that research is showing is that by the time players get to the NBA, their bodies are already in need of repair from playing AAU basketball, travel, high school. Like, kids are playing so much now in their youth that their bodies are hurting. You know, they're not as strong as players used to be.
So you were saying,
or now they know. It's like, okay, we have to. This is something we have to consider and try to get ahead of.
So you saying If Kobe would have set out more games, or they would set more games, he might have played a few more years.
That's possible.
Oh, okay.
But Kobe also played, 20 years in the NBA?
20 years, yeah. He played 20 years. But I'm saying now, you saying if you would have preserved them guys and set them out, let them sit out games, that their career they could have played more years.
Potentially.
Okay.
Potentially. Look at Tom Brady, right? New England has always had a good offensive line. They limit the amount of hits Tom Brady takes. Tom Brady's 42, still playing quarterback?
And you can't touch him. You can't really touch him. You can't really hit him. Okay, like you saying. Now, you know what? The game, they changed the game so much. Like Joe Montana. Back in the day, you could hit a quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
You can hit. You can't touch quarterbacks now.
And I mean, they're more defenseless too. You're vulnerable when you're throwing the ball and somebody's running at you full speed. So protecting them allows them to play longer. You're supporting the claim.
Some of them quarterbacks still played long years, Kevin.
I mean, yes.
Some of them still played.
But what good condition is their body in? And the guys you're talking about, name one.
Huh?
Name one.
I don't know the year.
Okay, I can tell you Tom Brady, 42, still playing because his body is in good condition because he's protected. Yeah. That's what load management is doing to
indoor players. Watered down, what you call them that day. They don't allow hits. They don't. You know what? It ain't the same game.
They make the game safer. No, it's not watered down. It's safer.
It's not. You know what? Call it what you want to call it. What they taking a lot of the excitement out of the game too.
So the excitement is seeing guys.
I didn't say now. Don't say that. I'm saying guys get hurt. I ain't saying guys get hurt. That's what
it is.
No, I'm saying, you know what? You can't. You know what?
You can still make a good hit in football. There's still great hits.
You gotta pull up. It's just like penalties come.
You can't lead with your head and shoulder into a guy's head.
But you know what? It's still making guys.
You can hit guys hard here.
You know what?
But you can't do it in the head.
You know what? We come from different eras and we see things a different way. You see it, this new age stuff?
Dad, when I was young playing football, Madden used to have the hit stick where it was all about the big violent collision. I grew up with that. I love watching football for big hits too. But now with the new knowledge that we have,
you know what?
They're making the game safer.
You know what? The other day,
so it's like game. So you gotta be open-minded and willing.
I watched the game the other day. And the guy didn't even really hit the quarterback wrong. And they replayed it and showed it over and over again.
And that's something
but they throw flags and stuff down.
That's something that I agree. The NFL has to work it out.
Players got to pull up. When you know what? Now I got to pull up because I might hit this quarterback wrong.
And sometimes the quarterback keep going and you look stupid. So that's something the NFL has to work on and figure out.
Like I said, I don't. You know what?
Do you hear what I said? Did you hear me acknowledge that?
No, I heard what you said.
That's something they have to work on and fix. And that's been a point of emphasis.
I heard what you said. And if my opinion, you want to say make me look foolish, then you know what? I just feel I feel basketball. I feel the same thing about basketball.
I think you need to be just use your how. Just use your how and go back and think about load management. All right.
Okay. All right.
Open mind.
Okay.
And willing to what? What's the willingness for? What does it mean to be willing?
What?
Willing to listen, try to understand.
I understand. It ain't that I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. I'm not saying I don't understand it.
Why don't you agree with it?
I don't agree with it. I don't. You know what? Because maybe you know what? Some things. I'm just not going to agree with it.
Why?
I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to agree with it because you know what? It's not what I grew up watching. It's not what it ain't. It you know what? It's just that I'm not there yet.
That. So you got to get this. So you got to be open-minded. So
it ain't that I'm closed. I just don't agree with it, Kevin. You are closed. Okay, I know because I don't agree with something.
You want me to tell you why you're closed? Because you said that's not what I grew up with. So you're shutting. That's not a good reason to disagree with something.
No, I don't agree with it. So you know
why don't you agree with it?
I don't agree with it.
Why?
You know what? Because you know what? I just don't agree with it because I think it make the game softer.
You talking about the NFL again?
I'm talking about sports. Period.
I mean, it's two different things.
I'm talking about sports. Period.
How does it make the game softer?
You know what? Most of it is made to make the game more exciting. Am I right? Is it to make it?
What are you talking about now?
We talking about like no. I'm just talking about what when you can't hit or when you talk about the hits and all like that. The defense and all like that. The way that it is when you talk about that, it's for more excitement, for more offensive purposes, isn't it?
No, it's to make the game safer.
Okay.
And so that guys aren't walking around with brain damage because there's been a decline in high school football participation because parents are like, hey, I don't want you to get brain damage, son, so you're not playing.
I don't disagree with the helmet and the hits using the helmet. I'm for that. I'm really for that. I don't mind them taking that out and being penalized for that for things that could really hurt somebody. I don't think that. I'm with that. I'm all right with that.
Thank you for using your how.
I'm all right with that.
So I mean, in the NBA, it's preserving players' bodies for their best interests and for the team's best interests so that they can be successful. Again, think of it as like an investment. It's like if I'm going to pour $100 million into something, I want to get that return. I don't want to pit $100 million into a car and it breaks down on the freeway.
You saying years ago that people were still putting investment into
they were, but look at guys that would get hurt. We have research that shows,
Kevin, but you know what?
That rusting players
freak injuries happen. I
don't
care how much
freak injuries.
I don't care how much
a freak injury is a freak injury.
You know what?
But there's injuries that can be prevented by taking care of our bodies. And I think that's the part we got to get you to understand a little bit more.
Well, then, you know what? Let them keep going to the gym and working out and doing things.
You still need rest. Like when you lift, right? You don't lift every day, right? You got to give yourself an off day so that your muscles can repair and rebuild themselves so that they can be stronger,
Kevin,
right?
You have off days during the season. You have days off from practice where you don't have to practice. That's a day off.
Sure, but Dad, it's not always enough.
Okay, see, it's not enough.
That's why.
It's not enough.
You gotta see these studies, man.
Okay. All right. You know what? And I still think because you should come to play. You paid to play this season. I ain't paying you to take games off. You know what?
But some organizations are paying people to take games off.
I don't buy. You know what?
Like look at the Sixers with Embiid.
You know what?
The Sixers are telling Embiid wants to play all 82 games, but they're like, yo, your feet, bro.
Okay.
They like we can't play on these back to back because if you get hurt again, that's costing us money.
Okay.
They realize like, yo, we investing hundreds of $millions into you.
Okay.
We need you on the floor.
Okay.
So then they got to say, all right, we can't make your body hold up. We got to help your body. We got to support your body and your health so that you can hold up.
Okay. All right.
But we got to get out of here because I got to go hose you down.
We definitely do.
Because you hot.
No, I'm not hot. I'm having fun with this. I love this. I love this.
All right, we got to get ready to bounce. Thank y'all for tuning in for an explosive episode of the No Stopping Kev Show. Till next time. Peace.
And you know what? God bless. And I had a good time with this show.